failure is not a roadblock, it's just a detour. What's up, YouTube? Just got done working out, feel me? Let's talk about something that your average person does not like talking about, especially your average YouTuber, podcaster, person that puts their life out there for you to check out. One thing about me, most people, they want to do like ESPN. They want to show you all the web gems, all the highlights, the top 10 and all that shit. They don't want to show you the failures, the fumbles, the errors you made, how you had a routine. I always put shit in sports analogies. How you had a routine out and you fucking had an error, you know what I'm saying? And it cost you the game, cost you a day. I look at every single day like it's a game. Every single day is a game. And every year is a season in that game. And you have the opportunity to change your shit around whenever the fuck you want to. You can change your season around right now. We're in the middle of the fucking year. We're in the middle of 2021. You can decide right now. You might have been losing for years, my nigga. You might have had 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons where you was losing. But you can decide today, right now, and say, fuck this, man. And I hope this sparks. I hope this lights a fire up under your ass so you can say, fuck it, I can get it too. You know what I'm saying? I hope it does. Real shit. I really do. So we're gonna talk about failure today. We're gonna talk about failure. It's the one thing that most people don't like talking about. I wanna talk about all my highlights. You know, it takes a lot of failure to get to the point where this man got to. That's Jack Nicholson. You feel me? It took a lot of failure for him to get there. It took a lot of failure for Aretha Franklin to get to where she got in her life. You know what I'm saying? You don't become a legend overnight. You're gonna go through a lot of seasons where you losing, you ain't got no money, you fucked up in the game, people ain't fucking with you. And on your level towards mastery, on your level towards bossing up, you're gonna fail. Now, the reason why most people will never succeed in anything, will never take a risk in anything is because they're afraid of failure. They're afraid of failing. Failing is the biggest thing for them. And if you have a fear of failure, and trust me, I've been there. Trust me, 10 years ago, my biggest two fears was fear of flying and fear of failure. I had a huge fear of failure. I never wanted to fail. You know what I'm saying? And my ego was attached to my first legit business because I had little hustles before then. But we talking about, we legal now, we square now. You know what I'm saying? My ego was attached to my business. And when that business started to decline, my ego started to decline. And I had a culture shock. I had a huge ego death at the time. I did a whole video on it. Go tap into it. Ego death right there. One of these corners, probably over here. But failure, man, honestly, failure is not a roadblock. It's just a detour. You know what I'm saying? You have to get used to it. If you want to be successful at anything, I don't care if it's weight loss. I don't care if it's being a better employee, being a better mother, a better father, a better husband. You got to learn how to fail. You got to be willing to fail. And I've had friends in my past who just played it safe. And these niggas is 36. We the same age and they ain't really got nowhere. And these are people from my past. You know, I got people in my family who took too risky of a risk, like not calculated risk. Now, when you take a risk, man, you want to do your due diligence, of course, right? You want to do your research, you do due diligence. I'm not talking about no good luck bullshit. Good luck is when you just say, I'm just gonna throw caution at the wind and I'm gonna roll the dice and see what happens. We ain't talking about no casino shit here. Nah, nothing like that. I don't believe in chance. I believe in work, ethic, that type of shit. And if you ain't willing to put the work in, then you watching the wrong fucking video. But look, man, you gotta be comfortable with failing. And when I first failed on my first business, it got me comfortable to the point to where I've had plenty of business failures. I could tell you about a couple. My first business, Uncovered Third PR, I launched that shit. I did rap PR from October 2008, pretty much, you could say all the way till December of 2017 was the last client I took. So I did about 9 years, right? I did really well the first, I think all the way up for about 7 years. And then I started to tank. The reason why the business started to tank is because I fell out of love with what I was doing. I was just talking to one of my best friends this weekend about it. He's disillusioned with what he's doing in his industry. He's been in the same industry his whole fucking life. He's saying he's getting bored. And I gave him an experience of me working in rap and how I worked in PR and how I started to feel disillusioned with what I was doing. And when you feel disillusioned about your business, start to research new industries to get into. Trust me, because eventually, I don't care how much money you're making, eventually your clientele is gonna start to notice you don't give a shit and your money will start to dry up. Trust me. So that's one business failure. And then but see, that was failure after I had gotten to where I needed to go. Now let's talk about failure to launch. Businesses that I didn't even make that much money on. Like I didn't even make really nothing. I've had 3 different Shopify stores. I had one which was a women's drop shipping store. I started in the fall of 2017. I had that for about a year. I didn't make that much on that motherfucker. Then I had another one which was print on demand. It was called Hella Merch. If you tapped into my iTunes from back in the day, you remember Hella Merch. I did okay, but it was a failure, okay? And the last one was actually not a failure. Hella Gorgeous. It was an online beauty supply store I launched last summer. I had it for about 6 months and I ended up selling that one. So that one wasn't a failure. But what I can teach you from e-commerce is you gotta know how to leverage your advertising. So if you don't have a huge following on YouTube or social media where you got, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, I would say 100,000 people following you and interjecting. I'm not talking about buying followers. Some of y'all niggas do that. That's just corny. But I'm talking about 100,000 organic, or you have the budget for advertising. I would suggest if you get into e-commerce, you need to have a serious budget. I would say you need to have at least 6 months worth of advertising already ready to go before you even start. So I would suggest you need probably about $2,500 to $3,000 a month for advertising. So that means you gotta have a bag. Don't just get into the shit because you watch a YouTube video. Because trust me, I did that. I was watching niggas on YouTube like, oh, you can do drop shipping with no money. Nah, man, you gotta have some bread. You can't start no business with no money, bro. You gotta have some else. Even with wholesaling in real estate, they talk about you don't use your own cash, your credit. You don't. But you gotta have money for marketing and advertising and all that shit. So you need to have at least a band, $1,000 to get into wholesaling. Anyways, those are some of my failures. I've had friendship failures where I was a leech to somebody. I was an energy vampire. You're talking about my early 20s. I've had failures with relationships, man. I've had some really great women in my life. And I'm not saying that on no Playboy shit, but I'm just saying that on I've had women even before I met my wife that were great. And I wasn't ready. I'm grateful for my wife though, don't get me wrong, but I've definitely looked at some people in my past, friendships, platonic and romantic, that I could have been more gracious. You know what I'm saying? Not as arrogant. So, but yo, those are some of my failures, man. Like, I know what it is to be on my ass, fucked up. And I also know how to be high on the hog, feeling myself too much. And I know what it is now where like I said, I've lost it all, man. I know what it is. I know I've been in the streets where I've been robbed. Niggas done motherfucking broke into my shit, took all my work. Police, all that shit, man. My motherfucking cousin got killed when I was 22. We was both in the streets. I've been through all of that shit. You feel me? But at the end of the day, man, me failing forward got me to where I am today. At 36 years old, I don't have a job. I haven't had a job since I was 20 years old. I've only worked for myself. And that's not to say that I didn't fail and there were times I didn't have money, or there were times where I had to go do DoorDash to go make a couple of dollars. I'm not saying I didn't have to do none of that shit, because I definitely did. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely telling you that through my failing forward, it got me to where I am today. Self-made, self-paid. I'm not saying I didn't have no people help me. I definitely did. But I did it my motherfucking way. End of the day. My way. But the only way you're gonna get to that three commas in your life, or that 6 figures, or that 7 figures, or that 8 figures, or 9, however much you wanna make, is you're gonna have to fail forward, bruh. You're going to have to. Even if your goal is only to make 6 figures, you might only wanna make 100,000 this year, and you still can, but you're gonna have to fail. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to fail forward. Even with option trading. When I first got an option trading this year, in January, bruh, nigga, I was up on my first 2 options. You feel me? I got into motherfucking AMC in January. I didn't know nothing about Wall Street bets. I got in when that shit was at $4.50. The day before, and I got 2 calls. 2 calls. If you know anything about options, you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna have to do a whole episode on options. I got 2 options for $123. Honestly, I could post it right there, but it really don't matter. My money ain't your money, so what difference does it make? And that bitch ran all the way up to motherfucking $23 a share, AMC, and I was able to cash out at $2,200 off a $123 investment. You know what I'm saying? But that was luck. And then what did I do? I got greedy. So I put $700 into a silver ETF, and I lost $700, or lost $600 in an hour, being greedy. I had a couple of weeks where I got greedy. I lost money. Trust me, I know what it is, crypto. I done made a couple of plays that I done got scammed. You know what I'm saying? Nothing I posted on here, but in the past, you know what I'm saying? I've been scammed in the streets. I've been, I know what it is, bruh. Trust me. I know what it is to fail forward, but I wouldn't have got to this point now where I'm 37. I'm talking to you right now. Not even 37 yet, but I'm 36. I'm talking to you right now. I'm trying to empower you right now to get the fuck off that couch. Get off that couch. Or if you're sitting at your job right now watching this shit, man, look, you got that app right there in there. You got the crypto app, but you haven't taken you haven't bought your first crypto play yet. Do it, my nigga. My nigga, just do it, bro. Just do it, my nigga. You got a Shopify store that you have an idea for. You've been telling people about it, but you got friends and family telling you, oh, you shouldn't do that. Look, man, don't ever take advice from nobody who is in a position that you don't want to be in. Period. Do not ever take advice from anybody who is not in a position that you don't want to be in. Now, if that person, they got to where you want to go and they lost it all, that's the person to listen to. But if it's somebody who ain't never been where you trying to go, they below you, I wouldn't listen to them. Some people might say different. I would not. You feel me? I listen to a motherfucker that lost it all. They been to where I'm trying to go, because I want to learn, how did you lose it so I don't lose it? You know what I'm saying? But look, man, peace and love, y'all, man. I respect all y'all. I love all y'all. Appreciate it. Like, share, comment, all that shit. Comment below. Let me know some of the failures that you've had. You can be anonymous about it. You know what I'm saying? But understand this. Failure is not a roadblock. It's just a detour. You feel me? Peace and love.